Monday, July 29. In the upcoming week, Sweden will be the first to report on its economic events. At 9 o'clock, the retail sales report is expected. This is a monthly indicator of the percentage change in the volume of goods and services sold in the country during the reporting month compared to the previous month. An increase in the index may positively impact the Swedish krona's exchange rate, as it indicates an increase in consumer activity. And at 17:30, the USA will report on the Manufacturing Activity Index from the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas. It reflects the business conditions and activity in the manufacturing sector in Texas. An increase in manufacturing activity is a favorable factor for economic growth and the exchange rate of the national currency. Tuesday, July 30. On Tuesday, analysts and market players will focus on news from Japan. At 2:50, a report on the unemployment rate is expected. This indicator reflects the percentage of unemployed individuals from the total labor force who are actively seeking work. Since the Japanese economy relies more on the industrial sector than on private consumption, this data generally has less impact on the national currency. However, an increase in the indicator negatively affects the yen. At noon, Eurostat will release GDP data for the Eurozone. This indicator reflects the change in the total value of all goods and services produced in the Eurozone for the current quarter compared to the previous one. The calculation excludes the value of goods and services used in intermediate production. An increase in GDP can positively impact the euro exchange rate. Wednesday, July 31. On this day, it is recommended to pay attention to economic news from Tokyo and Washington. At 5:30, the Bank of Japan will announce its interest rate decision. Interest rates decrease when the economy is in an unfavorable state and increase under favorable conditions. Traders closely monitor interest rate changes, as short-term interest rates are a key factor in determining the value of a currency. At 21 o'clock, the U.S. Federal Reserve will announce its interest rate decision. This event is highly influential on financial markets and particularly on the exchange rates of the U.S. dollar. Changes in interest rates are a response to shifts in the global economic situation in the country. They can immediately, significantly, and for a prolonged period affect exchange rates. An increase in rates can positively impact the dollar's exchange rate, while a decrease can have a negative effect. Thursday, August 1. At midnight, the Central Bank of Brazil will announce its interest rate decision. The rate is set by the Monetary Policy Committee, which meets 8 times a year to make this decision. Almost all interest rate calculations in the market are based on the Selic rate, which serves as the main benchmark for Brazil's monetary policy. The Selic rate is significant for loans, financing, and financial investments. On this day at 14 o'clock, the United Kingdom will also report on its interest rate decision. The regulator typically lowers the interest rate when there is a need to increase inflation to the target level. Conversely, if inflation exceeds the target level, efforts are made to make the pound sterling more expensive by raising the central bank's interest rate. Consequently, each decision regarding the rate directly affects the exchange rate of the pound sterling. Friday, August 2. At 4:30, Australia will report on the Producer Price Index (PPI). The report reflects the change in prices of goods produced in Australia for the reporting quarter compared to the previous one. The list of goods and services and their weights are periodically reviewed to maintain a representative reflection of supplier activities in the Australian economy. An increase in the PPI can positively affect the exchange rate of the Australian dollar. The USA will be the last to report on important economic events in the upcoming week. At 15:30, a report on the change in non-farm payrolls is expected. The report includes sectors such as professional and business services, healthcare, finance, mining, construction, manufacturing, trade, transportation and warehousing, leisure, and hospitality. An increase in this indicator positively affects the dollar.